The if the Ouya came out, like people talk about mobile gaming now, and there's like Genshin, there's Honkai, there's all of these really good games. The Ouya came out in 2015. People were playing like Bejeweled back then, and there weren't good Android games. Like maybe there's like an emulator or something, but like today you have Fortnite, today you have Call of Duty Mobile. If the Ouya came out today, I don't think it would sell because everyone just plays games on their phone. But it would at least make sense as a device now.
Yeah, possibly. I think the issue with the U, there was marketing, but also like it was priced similarly as a cheap Android tablet and could play the same titles.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you get a portable device that would play the same titles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, it would have been a tough sell for a device that is sitting in your living room and taking up space for something that you could play on the go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Valve, I think, recognized that with the Steam Deck because buying a mobile gaming device that you can carry around with you, it's way easier for consumers to understand that there will be compromises in that device. The performance will not be as great as a device sitting in your living room.
Mm-hmm.
But you can play any game, asterisk, that you want while on the go. And the market bought it.
I have not spoken to anyone at Valve about this, but I would be very surprised if when the Switch came out, they didn't think, hold up, wait, people care about mobile gaming.
Yeah.
Like, I am almost certain that the success of the Switch influenced the Steam Deck.
Possibly. And I mean, mobile gaming was not necessarily a market that was totally hidden because I mean there was the Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo
but
targeted
it's
that
kind of
market very very well.
that's the thing. It was only Nintendo because whenever anyone else made a handheld, like the PSP, yeah, the PSP has like a cult fandom, but it didn't sell well. The Vita didn't sell that well, and you have like the what do you call it? The Nvidia Shield, like that didn't really sell that well either.
No.
Everyone who's tried to do it has failed except for Nintendo.
Yeah, that is true. And Nintendo with the Switch created a market where not only it was mobile gaming, but when you're in the comfort of your own home, you can also play using your bigger TV and resume the exact same gaming session that you would have on mobile gaming. That's something that you couldn't do with a Nintendo 3DS. And that's the market that the Switch created for the Steam Deck. While yes, the Steam Deck has a dock and everything, I think for most people, resuming their gaming session means closing the game and going on the PC. And because of Steam Sync, you have your save file, you can continue exactly where you were. That's a huge selling point. I had an Xbox in my living room. I sold it because you know what? I prefer to have all my saves on one system, and then I can just resume my gaming session whenever I want. Versus having like one of the games that I really love playing on the Xbox was Tunic. Having my Tunic save file be completely gone if I switch over to PC. That said, I could have installed it using my Xbox Store on PC. I'm not on Windows. I'm on Linux. I don't have access to the Microsoft Store, so that's not something that I could do. Now I can play Tunic on my Steam Deck. I can then resume playing on my PC if I want to, or even on I've got a little mini forms PC that's running OpenSUSE. Through Moonlight, just resume my playing session from the living room on my main PC, and that's great. It's one ecosystem that you can run on so many classes of devices, and it's fantastic. And Valve is also seeing that. That's why they're working on the Fremont device, right? So that's their new rumored Steam machine for the living room. That I think is going to be pretty popular considering the success of the Steam Deck. Some people will want that Steam experience now that they've seen their friends have it on the go. They might want that for the living room. And it's nice to know you can purchase your title once on Steam and not be, I'm sorry, fucked by Sony or Xbox by forcing you to repurchase that title on the next generation of consoles. If you own something on Steam, you own it at least for your lifetime. That's a different story. See, Valve will close your account if you die. Your account is not transferable.
Also,
blah,
if
blah,
you get
blah.
banned, you lose your game library.
if you get banned completely from Steam, not from
Yes.
individual
Yes,
games,
yes.
yeah, that's true. If you do get banned, you do lose your entire Steam library. That's true. I forgot about that, but it's
Don't cheat.
it's still anti-competitive.
Don't
Yeah,
get
it's
banned.
still
Like, what are you doing?
anti-competitive. Yeah, yeah, true. But I still don't like that.
Yeah,
But
no, I agree.
it is what it is, unfortunately. But it's one purchase, and you can play on the go on your Steam Deck. You could play in your living room, maybe with your Firmon device, or if you have a custom mini PC that's running. If you don't want to run it remotely, run Bazzite. Like it's a great operating system. Or you can play on your PC
One thing I
or
was
on your
thinking about.
MacBook if your game is compatible with Mac.
Yeah, yeah. I actually think a lot more compatible thanks to the like what do you call it the Mac wine, the Mac compatibility layer. What is it called?
What is it?
Cross.
Uh, yeah, Crossover.
That's
That's
not.
the company that does wine.
No, it's not wine. It's
Uh,
the thing that Apple made that converted things over to
oh, the
better.
game porting toolkit. The
Yeah,
game
yeah,
porting
yeah.
toolkit. Yeah.
What I was thinking about is whilst the Steam Deck was whilst the Steam machines were a failure. And whilst early Proton wasn't that successful, I do think both of those things needed to happen for the Steam Deck to be popular. Because people, as you said, were not aware of Linux gaming beforehand. So if they had just dropped the Steam Deck without all of that history of the Steam machines, let's say Proton didn't exist until the Steam Deck and was in the state that it's in today. So it's like really good. It still wouldn't sell that well because people are like, gaming on Linux? Like, you can't game on Linux. Because there are still people today who think the Linux gaming is bad, but there's all this history of it being good so people can actually go and correct them. But without that history, most people would be in that category of having no idea that, you know, you can go pretty far with like YouTube marketing and things like that, people making videos. Linux is incredible for gaming now, but you sort of need that history to get a lot of people up to speed because a lot of people aren't paying attention to every single thing that comes out. They need, a good couple of years to know about something that's in their periphery is actually becoming a good thing.
Yeah, and seeing also that, for example, it works on SteamOS, but it works also on other distros is going to help change, I think, the general misconception that Linux isn't great for gaming. There's unfortunately some people today that still misunderstand, still thinks that Linux generally is bad. It's just SteamOS that's great. Not really. It's all the tools that Valve has made available runs on any distribution. Well, GameScope has some issues with NVIDIA still. I would argue that that's more of a NVIDIA problem than a Valve problem, but NVIDIA drivers are also getting are vastly better than what they used to be. And I say that as somebody who's running an NVIDIA GPU in my main on my main computer. But yeah, I wouldn't make that mistake again. Probably my next computer will be an AMD GPU. Who knows? But yeah, hopefully it does expose more people to gaming on Linux, to trying out Linux and seeing that, hey, you know what? Most of the things that I want to do work just fine out of the box. So that's why I really think, like, with the new devices that Valve is working on themselves and with their partners, we'll see more people getting exposed to Linux. One of them that I think is going to be really interesting is the new Lenovo Legion Go S. The reason why I'm saying that is while the Steam Deck is fantastic, global availability of the Steam Deck is problematic. It's only sold...
getting better, but
It is
Australia
getting better.
only just got the Steam Deck a couple of months ago.
Yeah, and I believe like people are starting to get their shipments of Steam Decks now. So for people who ordered it in Australia or New Zealand, but it's still an issue because if you're living in one of the 100 or so countries where you cannot buy a Steam Deck, then you don't necessarily have I'm going to say hero class device that shows you that Linux gaming is possible. Lenovo has a way bigger global reach.
I'm
They
sure
have
there's like
retail
one or two
partners
companies they
around the
don't
world.
sell to, but like compared to Valve,
Yeah.
you probably have Lenovo devices in your stores.
Yeah, absolutely. So seeing the Lenovo Legion Go S being sold around the world, being announced at CES, uh, it's going to be interesting to see how many people do choose to buy the SteamOS version as opposed to the Windows version. Then again, you could just install probably SteamOS on the Windows version. I think the hardware is probably equivalent, other than like the shell having a Steam button versus the other one having a generic Legion Go button. We'll see. The announcement is on January 7th.
Yes, for anyone who is watching this, we are recording this on January 2nd. So if this device does not exist, we will sound very stupid.
Well, I mean, we already know that it will be announced. We already know that Pierre-Luc Griffet from Valve is going to be present. So yes, this device does exist. We don't know the retail availability. We don't know if it's going to be released worldwide or only in select markets. So we're making assumptions here. But it's going to be an interesting device.
And at this stage, we don't really know anything about it performance-wise as well. Like we have a spec sheet, but like the spec sheet is you have to be stupid not to be able to fill it out. It's like, oh, it has an RDNA 2 chip. Oh, it has an M.2 drive. It has Wi-Fi 6. Like, this is, you can, like, guess the spec sheet, and you'll get all of this stuff right.